what you and I need to do, because it ain't just for me, it's for all of us. We do need to continue to watch. We do need to always be mindful. Is talking about, because that's what we want to do. Is you and I are going to have to learn how to be poor. Kika, what are you talking about? In my life, I've always wanted to be wealthy. As I've always said, I've always chased businesses. I've had millions of dollars cross my hands, all this kind of stuff. Okay. I'm always looking for opportunity. What Yah has shown me is that Yah is not looking for the rich. Listen to me carefully. I'm not looking for the rich. I'm not looking for the rich in the physical. And I'm not looking for, not that you are not going to be rich. And I'm not looking for the rich in the spiritual. The reason why I'm not looking for the rich in the physical or the spiritual is because they have no lack. Meaning that they have no need of me. They don't need Yah. They don't need him. And they don't lack anything. You see? David is saying, and many of his other Psalms that you hear, he always talks about how poor he is. But there's a verse that talks about how rich he was, where he had 99 tons of gold and thousands of tons of silver and jewels, and he had a kingdom and all this. But what we need to learn how to be is to be poor. And when I'm talking about poor, I'm not talking about being poor physically. We need to learn how to be poor spiritually, or what you would say in your soul. When you're poor, you need to be filled. You need Yah. When your soul is poor, that's a humble person. Don't try to be just rich. Don't waste your time in your life just trying to achieve wealth and greatness in the physical. Okay? The one who is poor in their soul is the one that Yah is going to make rich. See, people are using the wealth of their physical wealth to satisfy the desires to become rich in their spirits. They don't need Yah. See, Yah wants to make you poor first. Just like he says, I want, before you become, who does Yah exalt? Does he exalt the ones who are full of pride, or does he exalt the humble? So being humble is one who's low. I want to make you low. Therefore, you'll be poor. Once you become poor, you'll be humble and you'll have a need for me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise you up. You're no longer going to be low. But once I raise you up, you're going to become rich and you're going to become wealthy. So literally what we can't do is put the cart before the horse. We have to become humble first. And this is the reason why he sent the tribes of Israel into exile. It's because they had an abundance of so many things that they didn't need the Most High. And he says in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 28, verse 46, you can look at it for yourself, where he said that they weren't thankful for all the abundance. They weren't grateful. They didn't thank me. They weren't humble. They were full of pride. Okay? So we have to learn how to be poor in our souls, because that's when Yah is going to teach us. That's when we have room for learning. You see, but if we got all the answers, we're not gonna want to receive anything. We ain't gonna want to be taught anything. You want to be taught by Yah. Yah is taking out the time and said, I want to teach you. Yah is good and he is fair. And he does teach sinners the way to live. He leads the humble. He doesn't lead the prideful to do what's right. He leads the humble. He leads the poor. He needs the needy to do what's right. And he teaches the humble, the ones who are poor and needy, to live his way. Because ultimately, if you and I are so lifted up in ourselves, there's no room to lift him up. So Yah's giving us an occasion by becoming poor in order to establish the glorification or the exaltation of himself. We're trying to exalt ourselves over Yah. And Yah's saying, I don't want you to do that. I want you to always exalt me. Well, we haven't been taught that. We've been taught don't ever be poor and don't ever try to be poor. But Yah's telling us that this is the way that you get to me. All Yahweh's paths are grace and truth, meaning that Yah is about mercy. And he's devoted to us. And he's also devoted to the ones who are able to keep his covenant and his testimonies, because we're going to guard those things. I hope you would take that today out of this lesson.